Hi everybody, I want to show you a great Christmas card today. This one is really pretty. It uses the stamp set Comfort and Joy, and the scallop is cut out with the Big Shot, and this background here is also done with one of the Big Shot embossing folders. So let's get started. I'll show you how easy it is to make this. First thing I'm going to do is use the Big Shot die cutting machine, and I'm going to take the die that's called Circle Scallops number 2. It's got a big one and a smaller one here. And then I'll take some of the Always Artichoke cardstock and just place it right over the larger scallop. Put my clear plate on top, and then I run that right through the Big Shot. And when it comes out, I've got my scallop cut. And while we've got the Big Shot right here, I'll go ahead and do the second part that needs to be done. See, here's the scallop, all nicely cut out. Then the next thing we need to do is put the texture onto the vanilla piece here with all these little poinsettia flowers. So I take the embossing folder and I stick the cardstock right in there like this. Close it up, and then it again goes through the Big Shot in between the two clear plates, and this time it goes on the platform. So I'll just run that through and ready to decorate. There we go, look at that. Okay, now the next step, we're going to do some embossing, and I'm using the new pewter embossing powder that's in the mini catalog right now. So in order to emboss, the first thing I'm going to do is take the embossing buddy and just swipe it right over the cardstock. Then, and that is so that the embossing powder won't stick in places that I don't want it to. Then I'm going to use the design here, and it's mounted on a clear block, and I'll take the Versamark upside down to ink it up. That way it won't pull it off the block because the Versamark is so sticky. And I'll go ahead and stamp that right down on my scallop like this. And then right away you want to go ahead and sprinkle your embossing powder on there. So I will sprinkle that all over, and don't worry, you get it all back in the little tray here. And then I'm going to heat that up. Before I heat that up, I'm going to go ahead and emboss the inside of my card also. That way I can heat them both up at the same time. So once again, swipe with the embossing buddy. Then I'm going to take the words that I have, and I'll ink those up. Just like that. And then once again, we're going to use that embossing powder. Sprinkle that all over, tap off the extra. Now, I got a little extra here, so just brush that off before you heat it up, and then you won't even see it. Okay, then it's time to take the embossing heat tool and just heat that up. You can see that it turns nice and shiny as soon as it is embossed, and that's when you should stop. Okay, now I've got those embossed. Isn't that pretty? And really, we're almost done with the card at this point. So on the front here, what I'm going to do is take the snail adhesive and go ahead and hook down the vanilla piece onto the front of my card like this. And I'm going to just kind of set this here to see about where it would fit. And I'm going to take some Champagne Mist shimmer paint and just use what's here in the lid. And I'll take a little bitty brush, and I'm going to color in the centers of all of these poinsettias that are showing outside of the scallop. There's no reason to do the ones behind the scallop because those aren't going to show. So we'll just get these all done here. Okay, now those are done, and they'll just take a minute to dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and get this ready to hook onto the front of the card. So I'll put a couple of dimensionals here on the back. Oh, maybe 3 would be about the right amount. And take off the little papers. And then I'm going to stick that onto the front of the card. Just like this. And then I'm going to add some of our cherry cobbler quilted satin ribbon, and this stuff's really pretty. I'm just tying a bow here in midair, just like you're going to tie your shoes, and just fluff it a little bit, make it look just like you want it to. Go ahead and trim those edges off, and then I'll stick that onto the card with a mini glue dot. So just peel this back and you'll see one there, and then pop that right on top. And it's all done. Isn't that pretty? Really easy card to do. You can order all the supplies on my website, and I have the address posted here for you. See you soon.